There is a world as tangible as our own, impossible to see yet unavoidable to sense. A world enveloped by a seemingly unending ocean of forests. Buried deep in that forest, tucked away neatly within a blanket of twilight, lies a quaint little cabin. And in that cabin
is a bunch of guys, just a bunch of bullshitter.
Welcome to the Manly Man podcast with us, Manly Man.
AKA season 2, episode 15.
No, you never, yeah, we're somewhere.
Did you like my duck honk?
Your duck honk?
My slow motion laugh.
I hate my laugh. Have I ever told you
You
that?
can control your laugh to a point, but when something makes you laugh, you unload with the same laugh you could not suppress.
You can change it. I changed mine. I hated mine. Mine was like...
Oh, you did the wheezy laugh?
But I was like, I don't like that. And then I was like, people like contagious laughter. They like people who laugh audibly because it makes them feel good. So I tried to laugh audibly. So I was like, and then I was like, you know what's funny when you laugh kind of high pitched. So I was like, how it comes out like that.
Yeah, mine is a lot more high pitched. Like Jeff does it too sometimes. We have a similar laugh.
People love that. People love.
I don't know.
I hate my laugh.
Yeah. What's your laugh? What's the laugh that you hate? Exaggerate it.
Make me laugh. I have to really be laughing.
Why did the cheeseburger cross the road?
Because it was a hamburger.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That didn't work at all.
But when I laugh, you can hear it in my voice, and I cannot hold it back. It's all fucking bear none.
Your laugh is like your normal voice, though. It's like, it's like in the same kind of tone. It's not like...
My normal laugh.
Is it?
I have 2 levels of laughing. I have a laugh where I'm like... like that.
It's really condescending. You're just like...
I can't help it. But that's that normal laugh. And then when I'm really laughing, it's like...
Yeah, no, exactly. But I always wanted something more from the bowels of my soul.
You need more gravitas.
Because right now it's like... like it's like this high pitch, like, and the more intense the laughter is, the higher pitched it gets, and it's just like a squealing scream. Yeah. I wanted something that was like from my belly, from like my belly, like
where it feels like you're going to explode.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work for you.
But it does. It's not
because it sounds like you're introducing yourself to an audience every time you laugh. Like you come out on stage like. And then like an audience claps. Like, you sound like a supervillain laugh.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Mick, you're more. I think an evil laugh would suit you.
That's why you laugh like.
You're lovely and all. It's just the voice. I think an evil laugh.
I remember when I was like 9, I had a friend. Who had a stutter, but he was like a really good baseball player, and he was one of the more popular kids in the neighborhood. He just happened to have a stutter.
I notice people stutter when they're trying to be kind of intellectual. They're like,
you stutter when you're scared. You're like, can I please?
You've never heard me stutter because you've never heard me scared.
I've seen you. I've seen you.
When were you
fucking wetting your tidy whities? you had your hands up to protect your mouth and your face.
Nick, when were you most frightened to your core?
The most recent fear that I can remember is when I had that pinching sensation in my balls.
Was that actual fear? Like, were you terrified?
Well, it was fear because I could feel it. I'm at that age.
We need more predators.
What?
We need more predators.
Like from the movie?
Just
like kill people?
Like
2016.
Sexual
No. 2016.
Oh, sexual predators.
2016, our fears are, ooh, I have a tingle in my toe.
Oh, you mean people like robbing you and murdering people?
No. Actual, like a cheetah. Because
like natural predators.
Because that's your fear now is I get bald.
My ball tingle rather than like a freaking...
Yeah, it should be a fucking like...
A liger in my apartment building.
Everybody should write off to have their own lion on each block.
Yeah, there should be like
when they come outside in winter,
we've been killing
they fucking maul you to death.
Yeah, just so we're not pussies anymore and fucking...
It's true.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I am at the age though, like things start happening to people. You know, people get certain cancers around this time. Like that's more normal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of one day to go in the bathroom and be pissing blood and suddenly I have lung cancer.
What you asked me, the scariest thing is when I went to take a shower and I went to feel around my balls. Now I don't play with my balls like you guys do.
PSA: every man should tingle or fiddle with their balls.
Yes.
I have to get my shots and all that stuff checked out because it's been like years.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's the other. So sorry, what I was saying was like when people like you laugh it off or you don't say anything because you're embarrassed, right? Or all these things, and then or anything really. You got a weird cough, you got a lump in your throat, you got a pain in your chest, but you're afraid to tell your friends or say anything because you don't think it's a big deal. And the next fucking thing you know, you're pissing blood or you're coughing up some blood, and it's like, oh yeah, you're in stage 5 terminal fucking cancer.
Yeah, there's 3 things you need to do in life. taxes, get your shots, and
fiddle with your like balls.
I hate all three of these.
Get
things.
money.
Oh yeah, get money.
I hate all four of those.
Get money, get paid.
My ones are get money, get bitches.
These are your problems.
That's it.
These are the things you got to worry about in 2016.
I can't get any money or any bitches.
Here's my problem. I can't make ants on a log. I don't have enough peanut butter and raisins. You Laugh, You Lose compilations aren't coming out as much as they used to.
No, you have to look up Dank WebM compilations.
And Dank WebM is good from 1 to 3, and then it starts being really gay with the vines.
It does start getting. Yeah,
These are the issues I have.
Sony's outsourced long plays,
and that's why we need mountain lions in every block.
Now, if a mountain lion and I had my license was coming towards me, I would hit that motherfucker with a car.
You'd be one of the survivor dudes. You'd survive.
Everyone else would hit the fucking mountain lion with a car.
No,
they'd be like, oh, there's a mountain lion.
Mouth-breathing retard.
Fucking hit it.
There's some mouth-breathing retard would try to feed it.
You'd stop, get out of the car, and be like, I want a fair fight.
I don't know.
We're going to go fist to fisticuffs.
I would see all the mauling it's been doing the past few hours, and I'd be like, you know what? I think this fucking thing needs to die.
You'd like accidentally kill it.
I'm considering you at fault for this idea of having mountain lions as natural predators.
Yeah, no, I want you to be dead honest. Dead honest, both of you guys. You're here in the office.
Yes.
There is a fucking mountain lion, and it wants to kick your ass.
Yes.
It's licking its chops.
Okay.
It has, when it blinks, its pupils are stakes. That's what it sees when it sees you. You're done.
Yeah.
Do you run, or are you going to try to fight this thing?
You stand your ground.
You stand your ground, you look in its eye, and you say, no, I will not be intimidated by you, Mr. Mountain Lion.
That's like the Tumblr.
Fuck you.
That's Tumblr logic. Say, no.
It works. Put a Tumblr person
You can't bully me?
Put a Tumblr person in a room without an option of log, and let's see what fucking happens.
Tumblr people are fucking blue. What do you call those steaks?
Steaks?
Raw?
Something?
Blue steak? Yeah,
blue steak. Yeah, blue hair steak. That's
cold
what the Tumblr
steak,
people are.
basically.
Why?
Barely warm
They
steak.
got blue hair.
Oh.
Okay, well, that went far, man. Good argument. Anyway.
That was one where you had to use your brain to.
I just because I think it's easy for us to say I would stand and fight, but I'm really curious. If I'm staring at this thing, I guess you just dive at it.
I'd run towards the refrigerator. It would jump up at me, and I'd swing open the fridge door and knock it out cold.
Nice. You do like a Jackie Chan like kung fu.
I'd do a Jackie Chan specific maneuver.
Kung fu like choreographed.
How is
exactly
Tom and Jerry thing
just keep
with
doing
the refrigerator. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Do like a flip back.
We're basically in a sealed room on like a third or a second floor of a building where you need like passcodes to get in. How would a mountain lion get in here?
It's not really a how. That's not really the question. The question is that it's
it's just there.
Now it has a mouth. They can just put the key in its mouth and go up on top and stick it to the door.
Let me tell you this: when you're faced with a life and death situation and you only have a moment left to live, you're not going to sit there and go, "How the fuck did this even happen?" The only thing going through your head is, "What am I supposed to do now?"
I'd back up to get to the knife drawer and chop its head off.
All right,
you're gonna pull out one of those fucking dull ass butter knives.
Yeah, there's no knives.
And you're gonna cut off a tiger's head.
I don't know that at the time.
You're gonna poke its eye out with a plastic fork, and it's gonna go. You're gonna aim for it, and you're gonna hit the side of its eye, and that's only.
You guys
gonna
do
make
have sporks.
Well, they're plastic too.
Yeah, plastic sporks.
Okay, so something I wanted to talk about is MagFest is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's for those who don't know, it's a convention.
It's music and gaming. Yeah. Though I initially thought it was music animation.
It should be.
Great.
People don't usually make "an" a part of the anagram.
Yeah.
I brought up MagFest mainly because like every time I've gone to MagFest, I haven't gotten sick, so I don't know how susceptible everybody is to like things like that.
You haven't gotten sick, as what you said?
I never get sick from them.
And I've shaken hands with people and hugged people. Fucking Aaron and Susie and all that.
Game Grumps, they fucking
Aaron got sick.
They got
sick
fucking
every time.
They got fucking sick before they even did their goddamn panel.
Yeah.
They got sick before they could even get to their fucking room.
Ross, I think Ross always gets sick too, but towards the end,
they all get sick. It's sad.
John's been getting sick too.
I can imagine.
No.
This is also not a gateway for you to come up to me with your fucking sniffles and boogers hands and try and hug me because I'm not saying I will or will not deck you if you look like a fucking corpse.
Cory, I think you are patient zero. You are the one spreading the sickness. You're the typhoid.
I am whatever.
Typhoid.
I have a strong immune system.
Yeah.
I ate my boogers for 14 years.
This is the thing.
Most kids start.
Did you know that that's true? Did you know if you were young and you were the kind of kid who was gross and did a lot of nasty things?
I did though.
Eat your boogers and stuff.
Dude, I ate so many and ants.
I still eat my boogers.
I ate boogers and I ate that's gross. I ate boogers and I ate paper. All the time.
I never got the paper thing. I never got the paper thing.
I always ate My boogers? Listen! I always ate my boogers and paper.
You ate your fucking boogers.
And paper when I was little. What it actually does, like, if you do that, it actually helps your immune system to fight, like, weird bacteria that it's not used to.
I think that's why people do it. I think, like, evolutionary, like, it's an evolutionary thing.
Kids do it because it's, like, they're bored and it's something they can nibble on. Mucus, to me, is, like, really putrid because it's, like, nasty.
Well, that's what vagina juice is all mucus.
I mean, yeah,
man.
Instead of saying,
it's different.
So
there's a difference between, like, your holes that release, like, mucus over your, like, fucking nose and ears that release mucus.
Yeah.
Because those seem more gross than your private
Dude,
parts.
our whole body just constantly secretes.
Yeah, like sweat and stuff.
Sweat and mucus and earwax and fucking cum and shit and sweat and all sorts of goopy, gross crap.
We just consume shit and just sweat it out.
You know, essentially,
our bodies just leak.
We are just like
shit.
Our skin is like a sponge. Like if you squeezed us hard enough, right? Like I think there was like I forgot what kind of movie it was, but somebody gets pushed in like a pressure chamber, and all of the pores, you know, like so all of your pores have like zit pus
like
in it,
blackheads.
even little ones, right? But the pressure was so much that every pore got crushed, and it looked like their face. It looked like those Play-Doh like spaghetti things, like just all this goop just poured out of every pore in their face.
Oh, that's
Here's
shit.
something that I always thought was also interesting. If we're on the topic of like gross mucusy stuff, this is something I noticed growing up, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's still true, but girls have like an infatuation with kind of like gross things. Not like saying like they love like, you know, scat and shit, but they like, when I was growing up, my sister was obsessed with scabs. I wouldn't pick my scab and she'd be like, you should pick your scab.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to pick my scab. But she was obsessed with trying to pick my scab. And I'm like, what's your fucking problem? And growing up, I realized that like she used to like digging in the ground looking for like bugs.
Yeah.
But the older she got, she was fucking terrified of bugs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a thing you grow out of when you get older, where you kind of, depending on who you are or what you kind of...
Yeah, it's weird because it's funny you say that because that's exactly...
This is just completely
No,
biased
but I've
on my
had
experience.
ex-girlfriends and whatnot that they wanted to like, if I had like an ingrown hair, they wanted to take a needle and they wanted to pry it out.
Yeah,
or if I had like a zit or
they
something,
wanted to pop it.
Yeah,
or a
they would always
blackhead,
want to
they would
pop
always
it.
try and pop the blackhead.
My mom would be like that. Yeah, like if I got a splinter from like something, she'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
bring that over to me."
And let me tell you, if either of you guys had an ingrown hair or a zit on like your shoulder, I wouldn't touch it with a fucking 10-foot.
Oh god,
if you pulled off your shirt and you were like, I got zits all over my back, I'd be like, put your fucking
I might smack it really hard with like a ruler just to fuck with you, but I'm not going to sit there and get, within a breath's distance of it, like breathing on your back, sitting there with my two thumbs trying to pinch your
people
zits.
Fucking jizz, not well, maybe literally, but over like pimple popping videos. That's like a whole thing. People just love watching like the oozier the better. Like, oh god, that stuff makes me sick. What's that called when you have fear of holes? There's like a fear of holes.
Yeah.
Trypophobia. That's
Megan has a fetish for like mucus. I don't know what it's called.
Mucus?
A mucus fetish. Yeah, they like the idea of somebody being sick and dripping mucus.
Ew.
It's a fetish.
Even sponges like make me kind of go. Ooh. It's like holes. I'm telling you, I have some weird.
If you ever look at like your skin under a microscope.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks like these fucking dirty caves filled with like these big mountains of gooey, crusty shit, and there's all these tiny little bugs and shit living in your skin too.
I used to go on 4chan when I was younger, and there was this picture on there where it was like a tit, and they had a lotus seed on the nipple, like photoshopped into it, so there was holes in the nipple. And I swear to God, anytime I closed my eyes, I saw it. I couldn't for like a day, for a whole day. It was disgusting.
Google just fucking sucks for any kind
I know. You can't Google a single fucking thing without getting something terrible and nightmare fuel.
You look up like symptoms of cancer, and you get people that are fucking legs are falling off.
Oh yeah,
dude, you can just Google leg, and you're gonna get somebody with like somebody's leg turned inside out.
It's like
so true.
It's really like
you got a rotten fucking leg.
Yeah, because they already categorize fucking legs by like sexy legs, hairy legs. Why don't you fucking take your fucking medical legs and stick them in your goddamn category up at the top where I don't have to fucking see it?
Gangrene legs.
Anytime you look for something, I remember growing up that wasn't an issue. When I was younger, you would get like the most basic of like gross shit. I have a rash on my leg because I need to put cream on it and stuff. It's from like, getting, not... It's not something I do, but I don't put lotion on my skin. It's something I just don't think about, and I should do it because it's smart, but I had a rash, and I'm like, okay, I have this skin rash, I can kind of describe it, and I look it up, and you get people with fucking crocodile and shit. They're like third-degree burns showing the bones and muscle.
If you ever look up any sickness, no matter how mild it is, and you pop that thing into Google, dude, you better not have eaten, or you better not be
No,
planning on eating.
exactly. I don't
Day's
have
done.
Did you ever go to WebMD?
third-degree burns on my fucking hand.
If you go to WebMD and you have like a hangnail, it's like, yeah, you've got like cancer of the asshole. Or
I don't even know why they call it WebMD. They should call it YouGotCancer.com.
There's a porn site called PornMD, and I keep thinking that you're talking about like PornMD.
I think they got the name
WebMD.
from that. I think they got the name from that.
Because it's movie database. That's why I said it.
IMDb.
But I was in Ireland and I went to this doctor because I just want to get diagnosed ADD finally, like just diagnosed it. And I sat there. I said I have ADD or something, and I just want to get diagnosed. And he goes, "What are the symptoms?"
It's like, oh no, you have Parkinson's.
And he goes, "What?" No, he goes, "What are the symptoms?" And I told him. Literally, he had a spinny chair. He span around the chair, slid over to his computer, typed in symptoms of ADD, and then he said, "What are your symptoms?" And I gave him all of them. And in his list, I didn't have one of the things that were in his list. And he goes, "No, you couldn't possibly have it. Goodbye." And that was like
goodbye.
50 fucking euros.
You
Yeah.
said a fucking like springboard on the doctor's
pretty much.
table, and just fucking
furious.
blasted you out of the roof. It's like later. Yeah, that's the thing about symptoms too. Is like it's so weird with like diseases or anything like that because I feel like we're all different, right? Like we react differently to certain things. If someone has eczema or you know some kind of a skin condition,
I used to have eczema on my arm.
yeah, but we would have
really bad.
different symptoms. We could have the same quote unquote medical issue.
Yeah, but everyone's different.
Yeah, it's strange to assume that we are all going to react the same way when we have a certain thing.
Yeah.
That's
You know
true,
what I mean?
yeah. Like I have, I've had athlete's feet. I think I still kind of have a little bit of athlete's feet on my feet. It's, you know, and people say like, ew, gross, you have this fucking, it's like, you know what it is? It's simply, you know, getting out of the shower, not drying your feet off good enough.
Yeah.
And putting your socks on or
That's
just.
it? That's how you get it?
Yeah, it's like the most basic of, it's having humid feet,
Yeah.
basically. And how do you escape humidity
I
of your
don't know.
feet? It's
You
like,
can get it. I feel like you can get it like worse in certain phases of your life. Because when I was a
I get
kid,
it. I get it
I
bad.
definitely had it. Like,
I get it bad because I wear socks all the time.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
my
barely
own
ever wear
prerogative because it's like I have something against wearing bare feet. I mean, I don't mind people who have bare feet, but I myself do not like the feeling of having bare feet against wooden floors of linoleum. It feels really awkward on my feet, and I like to always feel cotton underneath my feet.
Yeah.
And that's bad. It's really bad to do, but it's like,
Is it?
it's not a good thing to wear socks all the time. You're meant to take your socks off once in a while, but
What about like underwear?
Yeah, it's the same reason why I kind of go half and half with underwear. Like half the time I'll wear underwear, half the time I won't.
Yeah.
do you turn your underwear inside out and put it back
No.
on?
Wait, I have a fun story.
I am not a barbarian born in a cave. Are you one of those guys you like fucking like piss on a cushion and just turn it upside down and then fucking sleep on it?
No, I sleep on the pissed
Fucking
cushion.
clean that shit up.
You listen, I don't have remutable.
Yeah?
Remutable.
Sure.
Skid marks.
Got it.
I don't have reusable skid marks.
Got it.
Reusable. What's remutable? Wait, remutable skid marks.
Reputable skid marks.
Still though, why would they be reputable? They have a reputation
Posted
around
on
the
the
town.
Instagram. I got like 15,000 thumbs ups.
Guys, check out my skid marks.
There has to be
Rate
an
my
account.
poop.
There has to be an account of just skid mark pictures. There absolutely has to
He's
be.
like, guys, more skid marks coming at you. Be sure to follow. Skid marks is a fetish.
I'm sure. And
Oh, of
anything
course,
dirty
shouldn't be
and
surprised.
Well,
gross.
there's a difference between having like repulsive, like fucking boxer skid marks, and just having like
go on.
like girls wear like their panties have a little bit of
Just a little.
Scruff?
They always do.
Just a
that's a common fetish.
a little.
They always have a
just
little
a little
bit of-
shadow of a line going right up the crack. That one.
No,
Just-
no,
I mean,
no.
that's what happens when you
It's
wear
not
like
that, though. They always have-
3.5 degree, fucking 3.5, 1/3 of a piece of clothing.
It looks like a snail has kind of been in there for a few minutes, or you always get that with girls. They always take it off. They have like a little bit of white stuff, and you're
I don't
trying to
know
look at
about
it, but
that.
you pretend you didn't see it.
What?
You know what I'm talking
That's
about.
that's only in my special anime pictures.
Yeah, it looks like someone just like
Talking about just like a flaky little pool, like it looks like a frozen
Do you know
pond.
those hentai pictures where the girls are holding up their
does.
panties?
You're describing it
They're
too
like
well.
holding up their panties and they have the little streaks in them.
Yeah, they do.
That's like a fetish. It's a common fetish.
You know what that
Streak fetish.
Hey, here's a secret. It's all fake. All right.
It's not
They go in
fake.
the back and they fucking blow their nose in their panties and they hold it up and they go, "Ooh, juicy."
It's not fake.
It's for all
Okay,
the
they
guys
have
who love
Every
the
girl
media
I've
shit.
been with, all three of them
Have pussy
No, I'm
streaks.
just kidding. No, they
Save that for the
they have that.
podcast.
It is a podcast. Silly business.
No, when I had bad athlete's foot when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, man. I really, you know what it really just comes down to is just washing your feet, like really drying them before you leave. Instead of getting out of the shower and just putting on a thing, just like wash them.
But there are chemical things. There are like when you're going through puberty and other things, when your body is changing, things happen. Yeah. This wasn't just a matter of washing my feet. This was, it was like when a snake sheds its skin. Like I literally had turtleneck like rings of dead skin around every toe. I mean, whole like you could pull off almost like a sheet of it off of my foot, and it was like, and it would hurt, and it would be pussy and whatever. And we used to have to wrap.
It would be pussy.
Yes, so we'd have to wrap.
That's not a good.
No, and we would have to wrap my feet in Vaseline and wax paper, and then put a sock on over that.
I have quaint.
This is when I was a kid.
I have quaint athlete's feet. I don't have fucking.
No, I don't have it anymore. But that was.
What are the symptoms? Just that?
No, you'd have like cracking. In
you
between
just
your
have
toes
like
and
dead
stuff.
skin around the toes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And,
don't
like,
have any of that.
Loose.
I have nice
It's just
feet.
like white skin.
Yeah.
You're fine. It's a fungal like infection, but it's like the most harmless one. It's not like you have fucking gangrene.
I thought everyone had athlete's feet.
You don't have.
I
What's
think
that?
anyone can get it.
You don't have fucking gout, okay? It's nothing of that caliber, but it's like you have a little bit of a dead skin on your feet.
What
that you
is
can get
gout?
shaved
As
off.
far as I'm concerned,
It's just a fat.
It's like a fucking tumor on the side of your leg.
because I thought I
on
had
the side
it.
of your foot.
Yeah. Well,
No.
there's a swelling. It's a
No,
swelling.
it's like fucking elephantitis on the side of your feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no way you have gout
And it's usually-
unless you're fucking.
Well, no. When I was in
shoes
Alaska,
don't
no.
fit.
And if you touched it, if I had a bed sheet resting on my foot, it felt like somebody was stabbing me in the fucking arteries. It was really, really intense when I had
Well,
it.
then maybe you did have gout, but maybe you had like child symptoms.
You know, a lot of the things that create gout is drinking too much. That can inflame because you build up like lactic acid.
I do know, lactic acid. I do know, like most people who have gout are obese.
stepping
Morbidly
bare
obese.
feet on shit also causes gout.
I've done that before.
How? How?
When you get bored and decide to upload your
Wait.
food foot
How?
fetish stuff and step on dog shit.
How does it? How would that give you gout? Gout happens from the buildup of inside, not by you stepping in shit.
You cut your fucking legs.
Oh my
first and
God.
then step in shit.
So after you step on that broken glass and then,
Then you
and
step
then rub
in
shit
shit.
into it, then you gotta watch out for that gout. Yeah, maybe.
That and maybe a little bit of infection.
Got it.
But am I wrong saying it's usually kind of heftier folks that have gout?
Well, it's just like bad health condition. Like if you're the kind of person who sits on your ass all day and you just fucking sit around eating and don't have a healthy foot.
But most of the time, if you think you have a problem, like, oh, my leg is hurting and it's cramping up, or my chest is hurting, or I have this headache, or whatever, almost 99% of the time, it's dehydration. Because
Yeah.
people aren't they're not drinking enough water.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
They're,
true.
You know, drinking too much soda
Why
or
would
Coffee,
they go
whatever.
for
coffee.
so much?
Yeah, too much coffee.
Coffee is a huge
Yes.
symptom of if you're like me who drinks coffee every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can in some cases it kind of depends. Like if I don't have Dunkin's but I have coffee, I'm fine. But if I have Dunkin's
Yeah.
and I don't have Dunkin's for a while, then I
Yeah.
get like actually get like headaches and stuff.
that Dunkin's?
So it's kind of good to get coffee once in a while here
Yeah.
and then get Dunkin's every now
I
and
just
then.
succumbed to the fact that I'm going to get kidney stone. I drink mounds of coffee.
Dude, I've been drinking this fucking thing I got at Wawa's that Jeff introduced me to. It's I think it's called like Pure Tea. It's like Pure Tea.
Oh yeah.
It's
That's
fantastic.
good stuff.
It's
That's
fantastic.
really good stuff.
It's I get this like unsweetened iced tea,
Yeah.
and I've been getting this lemon tea,
Love that.
and I
Love it.
drink that like every
Jeff gets
single
iced tea
fucking day.
like, every time he's out.
It's so good, and it's like
Wait, he still drinks all that iced tea even after he got those kidney stones?
yeah, no,
well, every time we go out,
he said himself that he like will just go to the bathroom and piss out some stones.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
flush
he just
it.
pisses out
like
rocks.
it's nothing.
But
He
he
sounds
must-
like someone's pouring gravel into a toilet bowl.
Yeah,
I probably
he
drink
doesn't
more
have
iced
any
tea
of
than
that
Jeff.
shit
I drink
anymore.
iced tea every day, and I drink mounds of coffee, and I drink diet soda.
But
as
I
well.
think it's still good to drink water.
I do
Even
drink a
though
lot
you
of water
drink
too,
tea.
though. I just drink. That's why I'm always pissing.
Then you're fine. You're not gonna get kidney stones.
I'm constantly needing.
You
to
shouldn't
piss.
worry about kidney stones. Kidney stones are for people who drink fucking Mountain Dew 24/7.
Kidney stones are mainly what, calcium?
Calcium buildup.
Yeah, calcium, just
So
minerals
could you
in
just
general.
fucking piss out a couple of those, throw them in a bottle, and for anyone with a calcium deficiency, you just fucking take 2 of those and call it a day?
Yeah, but
Probably.
Yeah?
Probably. I'd rather drink
yeah.
milk than someone's dick stones, but
it's like, no, hold on. Okay, you don't need bananas. I have kidney stones saved up. I've dried them out so they're able to be swallowed.
That's
You eat it,
potassium.
You're like, oh, oranges are calcium, right?
Oranges can have calcium. They add calcium.
Which one
to a
has
lot of
calcium?
stuff.
well,
Milk.
oranges are
Milk is the
vitamin
big
C.
one.
Milk.
Milk.
Fish has
we
it,
drink
some
fucking
vegetables
milk
have
all
it.
the time.
Well, it's bad for like man titties apparently.
Milk?
Yeah, because it does
The
have
hormones.
It does have estrogen in it, or do you call it estrogen in America?
We call it estrogen.
We call it estrogen, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
um,
it's estrogen.
it gives you like titties.
Yeah.
But doesn't estrogen also make people gay? Maybe.
It gives you like
something-
it gives you like feminine tendencies.
Well, I'm basing this off the
It
movie
shapes
John
your
Fucking
body.
Must Die.
No, it's a hormonal thing where it's like testosterone is for guys.
Yeah.
And hormones are for girls.
Estrogen's for girls.
So estrogen. So if you fill your body with estrogen, you'll start feeling female tendencies,
and you will grow.
And if you
titties.
and like the parts like your titties will become more perky, and you'll feel the sensations women feel.
Yeah.
On
There was definitely a phase when people were concerned because they were giving like a lot of any animals that they want to like grow bigger, faster, and produce more stuff. They'll give hormones. So and for the longest time, I guess people just never considered the fact that if everything you're eating and drinking has been tampered with hormonally, that somehow it'll trickle down to you.
Like,
it does.
Yeah. Girls who are they're ripped and stuff.
Yeah.
They're emitting huge amounts of hormones.
They take tea. They take testosterone.
And you know how like their clits turn into almost like huger, longer clits? They might as well just turn into mini dicks.
They pretty much.
It's because they're taking hormones. They're enhancing their penis size.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Testosterone.
Exactly.
Apparently, I don't know how true this is, but
does it ever grow so big they could like shove it in the guy's butt?
I mean, that's only in like Japanese animes.
Mick,
do they do that in animes, really?
Yeah, the clit dicks. They turn into clit dicks.
Oh wow.
There's like a range, right? There's like a pussy.
Yeah.
There's a pussy, and there's a pussy that the clit turns into a penis. All right. Then there's
wait. The clit does, so it like comes out of the lips.
It turns into the penis, and
Isn't
then
that like a gooey duck?
And then there's
you know
another
what a gooey
one.
duck is?
No.
It looks like a
Is that
clam.
a Chinese word for
No, it looks
one.
like a clam, but then it has like a big penis that comes out of it.
There's hermaphrodite, which has a pussy in the gooch area, but it also has balls and a dick. I don't mean has being
the balls are inside their.
I'm not
body,
speaking has as it. I'm speaking like the genitalia. The lower half has like a pussy, balls, and then dick.
Yeah, it has a dick and it has a pussy under the dick, and the balls are tucked inside their body. So their balls are actually
their balls lay over.
I heard that they have a dick, they have a pussy, and then the balls are inside. So if they decide they want to become a man, they can descend the balls. They can get surgery so the balls come out. If they want to become a woman, they get their dick chopped off.
This is a gooey duck.
What the hell is that?
It looks like a fucking.
That looks like
It looks like a clam with a big fat honking donkey dick
that
coming
looks
out
like
of
a
it.
bottle of fucking barbecue sauce.
I'm thinking of the gout things we were talking about earlier, and the rotten legs and stuff. Just that looks like a big fat rotten dick to me right now.
It does.
I'm getting
That's coming out of a shell.
I'm getting horny. Take your phone.
I'm getting horny. I'm getting sick.
This because there's this like 4-year-old Asian kid holding it up to its face.
Yeah, he's holding up a rotting dick. Okay, so this is something I also kind of want to talk about because I am a cynical person to a degree.
I don't think you're cynical.
I can be cynical. I can look at something and
I
just
think you're a lot less
overly
cynical
judge it.
than before.
But it's like I realize now that like cynicism that has bled into me, it's almost like why be cynical? Because it's like it really doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's like, okay, so if you don't like something that somebody likes,
Right.
You don't have to make a huge deal out of it.
yeah, then it's like, well, you clearly don't like the person's thing they don't like.
Right.
So it's like when I see something like if I see a movie or I see some art and it's stuff and it's like it's kind of hit me now at this point that it's kind of like why would I even worry about just stuff that comes out if like a game comes out or something comes out and it's like wow this sucks. It's like well this clearly isn't for me.
It's a lose-lose situation because when you're super cynical like by nature by default, right? Two things are happening. One is that you're spending a lot of energy and time just hating on things for the sake of hating.
Yes.
And then the second thing is you're being closed-minded to things that you might actually enjoy.
Yeah.
You're just automatically shutting the door on it. Like I was gonna say before, there was a time, the Cory that I knew back in the day, if I was like, hey Cory, do you want to come over and watch every single Star Wars movie tonight? There is a Cory I know that would have said I'd rather fucking jab my eye with a broken pencil and pour fucking acid into it than do that. Fuck you, Star Wars is gay and lame and fake and stupid.
I would never say the final two lines.
Yeah, okay, fine.
You'd say fake and gay.
I'd be like, fake and gay, look it up, E3.
Yes. But the fact that you did watch it, you watched all of them and you enjoyed them.
Yeah,
and I think that is a testament to, I think, to being more open-minded. You know
but then
what I mean?
it comes to things like, but
and you didn't like all of them. That's the thing, too.
yeah.
But you watched them because.
But then it's like talking about things like I was thinking like I saw Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, but if you're someone who's cynical all the time and you're just like, oh man, I hate anything that caters to the specific thing they're trying to cater to, then it's like, well, if you're going into something like, okay, so Deadpool's like, he's a try-hard, all he fucking does is break the fourth wall and he has random jokes
I really
about
thought the movie was
chimichangas
gonna
and
be
fucking
that.
tacos.
I really thought that was going to be the movie. I thought it was going to be cringy
the thing is, like, if you go in with that high expectation, it'll ruin it. Even if you enjoyed it, you'll still somehow have some sort of negative thing to it. But if you go into the movie and you go like, you know what, I know what it's supposed to be, but I'm going to completely blank my mind and assume so that it, at the worst, it's going to be a cringy rump, but at the best, it's going to have parts that I will remember and laugh at.
Right. But you're already accepting that could be an option.
Yeah.
Rather than, from the moment you go in, only accepting that you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, like, well, I guess it's also kind of like a bias because I like Ryan Reynolds. I've always liked Ryan Reynolds. I don't like his serious roles where he plays like a hard cop or he plays like somebody that's like has the world on his shoulder. It's it's like Ryan Reynolds has always been a goofy fuck.
Yeah.
He was a goofy fuck in Waiting, and he was a goofy fuck in Van Wilder.
Yeah.
He has like that really creepy, fast
I liked
talking,
him in Van
old
Wilder.
Jim Carrey style, like me, myself, and Irene.
I actually
Jim Carrey.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's totally me, myself, and Irene Jim Carrey. Where he's almost like, I'm fucking insane.
Yeah.
I got stuff to say, but I can't say it because
But
I'm
that's what
always
I'm saying. I was
censoring
like,
myself.
it's really hard to be really handsome and really funny. I think like he's one of the only people to pull that off. Like, you know, to be like a good-looking dude.
Wow, that's
like,
rude.
Except for Mick.
What's his name?
God, I am
Tony
neither.
Stark?
Shut up.
Tony Stark is handsome and funny as
Robert
but
Downey
he's more
Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. No,
Yeah.
he's funny.
Yeah, but he's like one of the.
No, he's
one
legitimately
He is, dude.
funny.
I thought, I don't care what people say, I thought he was amazing in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious. And he's funny in general.
Not just as a black guy,
Like,
as the Australian guy, I thought he was just a great.
talking about, like,
everything.
he's funny outside, like Iron Man. Like
Yeah.
I thought he's charming and funny in that. He's actually just funny in general. He's a funny person, and and it's like
It's really rare, though, is what I'm saying. There's not many of those.
I'm really happy that even after rehab, he didn't like crash and become a fucking buzzkill. Because
No,
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of
He just
people
went
would
up the hill.
Yeah, a lot of people would have attributed his like fast talking witticism and like, you know, his lightning fast, you know, comebacks and whatnot to be part of like his coke addiction. But even after stopping, I mean, he's gone back a few times, but clearly that's just a part of who he is. He is a fast thinking, you know, fucking.
Yeah, he's
you
just
know,
a witty guy.
Yeah,
He's quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's good looking.
he is.
I
yeah.
His
do him.
penis is very pretty.
I'd give him one. I'd polish it.
So Deadpool was rated R, and it's actually almost jarring to watch a superhero movie where when they shoot somebody, their fucking head explodes.
Yeah, and it's Fox.
Yeah, it's Fox.
It
and
is amazing that movie got made,
Yeah.
and they got made the way that it got made. I mean,
And when
even
somebody-
Jeff, when we
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
cynicism, Jeff said he really liked it.
It's
From
a great,
what I recall,
it's a
I don't want
great
to speak
movie.
for him, but
no,
that's what I
it's a
recall.
great movie, and it's like people are like, oh, you're overhyping it. This is
Yeah.
Frozen all over again. It's like, no, this is not. You know what? You take the stick out of your ass. It's like
Yeah.
go in this fucking
Well, I
movie.
haven't seen it. I'm just
It
excited.
is legitimately a good movie. There are things that bother me currently. Like it's the origin story. It's
Yeah.
gonna explain Deadpool. You're not
Yeah.
gonna go into fucking Deadpool and he's gonna break the fourth wall for 40 goddamn minutes.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be. He's gonna have to explain his.
Well, you
existence
have to
in the
have a
world.
wall in order to break it. You can't just be breaking it the whole fucking time.
But the origin thing is entertaining. It's funny. It's like even some parts may be slow, and there could be parts where the shots, it's more unique and crazy, and he like stops and does all this stuff. But you could tell they had a vision. They stuck with the vision. It felt like everything was kind of intact. Like there was no stuff they left out. They just were like, okay, we have this. We need this. We need to say all this stuff in a small amount of time. We're just going to do it, and that's what it delivered on.
Right.
But it's so great watching a movie that's rated R, and when somebody gets their fucking limbs cut off, their fucking arm flies off, and there's blood fucking everywhere.
There's blood everywhere? That's
and
what
it's
I was
like the idea when you see like a movie like The Punisher. Like
Yeah.
I would love a new Punisher movie, and I would
if
fucking
they took it to that level.
Oh god, yes.
Almost
And I would
looks like
absolutely like the game Punisher. If they did Punisher the game movie, it'd be fucking amazing. And if they did a new Ghost Rider, was rated R, it'd be fucking great.
Ghost Rider doesn't need to be rated R. It can be. I'm just saying because Ghost Rider is a ghost. It's not like he's bleeding a lot. And even in the comic, when he fucked with people, he wasn't like a dismembering guy. I mean, he did run over people and he did like choke people. I feel like it could definitely be more gory than the kid-friendly Nicolas Cage bullshit we saw.
Exactly. But it's
That
like
CG was so embarrassing, dude.
it's almost like
haven't seen
a
it.
breath
It's bad,
of fresh
don't.
air to see a superhero air quotes, that's actually gory and rated R, and actually feels like they're not talking down to you for once.
Yeah.
Like you feel like this is what I've been waiting for. I've wanted this for so long.
Yeah.
Do this more often.
I feel like Spawn could definitely have a remake.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
The thing
Spawn.
though is I feel like Spawn's time's kind of over, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know, Scud, maybe a Scud movie.
Well, I see a movie, right, and I'm just like, that movie would have been better if it was R. Because all these movies that come out, it's like they've always been PG-13. But PG-13 is not how it used to be.
Yeah.
It's dissolved into like this last second cutaway bullshit where if there was going to be murder, like if somebody was going to be stabbed, the shot would cut away before any impact was done. You would see the expression of someone being stabbed, and maybe you see the aftermath of them pulling away, but you wouldn't see the impact of the stab, and you wouldn't see the expression of the stab, the aerial view. And it's like, I feel like the magic of that has been lost. All all these movies that come out by a dime a dozen, any kind of gore or any kind of violence is just like cutaways to anything that actually happens.
It's interesting because I recently looked at the reviews of the Dark Knight series because I thought they were rated. I thought at least one of them was rated R, but they were all PG-13.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to think of an example, if you saw World War Z, it was a fucking pile of shit.
Yeah.
It sucked. But if you saw the unrated, uncut version, it is way different. It is actually like, you know, when you see the zombies, they look like dead. They have blood and shit. They have shit all over their faces. When they shoot them, brains fucking splatter everywhere. It's a legitimate horror movie. And the scenes that should have gore actually have gore.
It was a comic book before.
Yeah, and it actually has like sounds of gore. So when you see this stuff, it's like you see it now, the pussification they do in movie theaters, and you see the ones they release later on fucking DVD on uncut version. It's like, why can't you just fucking release that?
Right. Well,
and
I think it's about money. So if you
but
have
people
like,
would see that.
Right. But Deadpool, its main audience, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's a lot of adult viewers that want to see it, but do you know how many fucking kids want to see it?
That was my point.
And that becomes such a. They're taking the studios, especially like Fox, know that if they make it rated R, they are cutting out a huge demographic.
I swear to God,
but they're not anymore.
I was going to say, like, do you think that the fact that it's R and it's
no, the fact that it's R has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact.
Do you think that like takes away? Do you think other studios will see that and go, R doesn't actually take away from the
No,
money?
I think that's what should happen. That's why I'm glad that this is happening. I'm glad that this is putting shade and fucking shade on the previous thing and being like, listen, okay, you can make a movie with fucking balls and make it rated R. If it's a good movie, people will see it. If it's a fucking shitty movie and it's rated R, no one's gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of need, and it's not so much that it's Marvel, it's just that you need something that grabs people's attention. Deadpool, for instance, is something that grabs people's attention.
I feel like certain ones, like a Captain America movie, you probably could have like a rated R, or if you're gonna do something with like Black Widow or something where you could have like what it's really like for a Russian spy, like what they really had to do. Like you could get really fucking dark,
and that would be great.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool.
And that would make
the
Marvel
idea is like, do you have to go that far just to make a good movie?
Yeah.
If you have to go that far just to make it a good movie, then maybe the movie isn't as good of a movie as you think it is. But if it is a part of it and you're actually dumbing it down, you know, then I think then you're cutting the balls off your story. But if you're just throwing extraneous gore on top of it for shock value, I think it's just a matter of balance. If it fits, then it fits.
Yeah, and anybody who has seen DayZ and thinks it's a waste of time. World War Z?
It was such a waste of time.
Yeah.
I recommend seeing the uncut version.
Do you know,
I don't know. Did the
absolutely.
story change? Because I thought the story was just trash.
there's an uncut version? I didn't even know.
Yeah, there's an uncut version with like everything that wasn't
Got
in
all
the
its
original.
foreskin on, dirty, gritty, and
Is it still shit?
Dude, the beginning. Here's DayZ. Spoilers, guys.
World War Z.
World War Z. I'm a doctor. Everyone's a zombie. All right, we got the guy. He's got the
I'm
cure.
Brad Pitt though. Also,
Yeah, I'm Brad Pitt. Let's go find him. They go to Hong Kong.
No,
where
it
the
is.
fuck? Oh, he's dead. He like falls
It's
down,
still-
shoots himself in the head. The end. And then they just go
It's
around.
still
What about the
basically,
vial?
it's still like the same, but the problem is like, you know, they had to shrink it into a movie, so they had to like cut in like a bunch of comics
you
and
know,
stuff
like the kids
into
dynamic with he loved his kids, all that shit.
But here's the difference. The difference between seeing that is the equivalence of seeing a movie that actually finally like doesn't talk down to you. When someone is shot, it's not like this pitiful like psh, fall down. It's like actual like blood and shit, and it's like, you know, the impact when you cut something. There's actual like it's zombies, okay? Fucking newsflash to anybody who's ever seen a zombie before.
All zombie movies should be rated R.
They eat flesh.
Okay, I agree. Okay, so by that account, I agree. I mean, look, if you're gonna do a romantic zombie movie, maybe it's
whatever.
PG-13.
Okay, if you want to make,
if you're gonna do an
warm
artsy-fartsy one, then maybe it's PG-13. But if you're gonna do a straight zombie movie, you're right.
Yeah,
By default,
zombies eat.
it's like saying you're gonna make a PG-13 Alien movie or a PG-13 Predator movie. It's like, why are you even doing this? What are you doing?
It makes no sense. It literally makes no fucking sense. It's a movie about things that eat people. It's like, how fucking more obvious with gore do you need to be? It's like, blood should be on their face. It's like, take Walking Dead, okay? Like, look, you see Walking Dead, you see what they're doing? Yeah, that's a zombie, okay? It's not these people who walk around with dirt on their fucking face. These aren't a bunch of...
Did you ever see The Walking Dead show?
The Walking Dead show?
Yeah. There was, I forgot which season it was. I think it was...
I'm one of those faggots.
It was like Terminus or whatever it was called. They again, spoilers, sorry, but at the beginning of the season, they're at this place where they think it's like a safe haven, but it's not. And they line up everybody in front of this trough. There's like 30 people lined up on their knees with their hands tied behind their back. And they're all leaning over this trough, right? And there's guys with clipboards with all their names and whatever, just, basically accounting for everybody there. There's two guys wearing like these like white kind of like protection splatter suits or whatever. And one guy has a baseball bat and the other guy's got a knife. And they just go down the line. They just baseball bat someone's head, and then you see the whole fucking thing happen in real time. They hit somebody over the head. They clunk over. Somebody just reaches over, slits their throat, and they just start to bleed into the trough. Just down the list, like boom, 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 and the next person sees. You can see everybody fucking getting killed, and it was one of the better scenes just because they weren't glamorizing it or like playing it up. It was just so brutally raw and honest about how undramatic and pitiful it was, just how, and that to me was so fucking frightening. But in order to pull that off, I don't think there is a PG-13 way you could tell that story, to tell that scene.
When you kill somebody, we are made with this thing called blood. Yeah. And it unfortunately spills out whenever you kill someone. Yeah. And it's like we shouldn't be ignoring the fact that this is a common phenomenon. We shouldn't be trying to like fool the audience. Kids aren't fucking retarded. They understand that blood exists. They understand when you shoot, stab, kill somebody, okay? 80% of the people who see these fucking movies play Call of Duty and play these fucking war games. Yeah. They know what blood is.
If games or movies did influence kids, let's just say
Let's just say that.
Yeah, okay, right. We'll assume that any stimuli we get does influence us in some way, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say if they saw gore, like let's say violence of like a zombie movie or a war thing, where it was like very real, like someone got shot and their head, literally you see brains, it is half of their face, it is just gross, dude. Yeah. Or the way we see it in a lot of PG situations where it's like there's a bullet, there's like maybe a droplet of blood and they fall over, stuff like that, or they cut away. Do you think if they showed just how gory, like when you cut someone across the stomach, their fucking intestines spill everywhere, do you think kids would be more or less pro-violence, like more or less? Like,
I think they'd probably be against it.
I think you could scare them straight a little bit. I mean, I think some people would say you desensitize them, but I don't think so.
No,
because even as an adult, like every time I see that shit, it's like, oh man.
Me too. I'm not a fan of like blood in real life. Right. If I am like bleeding at some point, I get woozy. I can't handle blood. I can't handle.
It's almost like by PG-13ifying violence, we make it seem just so much more palatable, so much easier, because we're trying to make it okay for
everyone's seen those gifs of people like dying and all that, and maybe you could be desensitized to that shit. But
so
like, in real life, if I saw like someone bleeding profusely, I
know absolutely. And at this age, kids know, like kids see stuff on the internet. They're desensitized before their parents even figure out what the internet is. Yeah. That's just what it is. It's like that's fact. When I was young, my mom didn't even know how to double click a mouse, and my dad couldn't even figure out how to check the internet history. But for me, I was already looking at the most fucked up stuff, and they had no idea.
Yeah, but even with that though, like even with like I love horror films, and I've seen a lot of creepy shit, but
it's fake.
Yeah, but when I see like an ISIS video where there's some dude cutting off a guy's head,
I don't want to see that.
That shit still gives me nightmares.
Absolutely.
Like, and it doesn't matter how many fucking gory things I've seen in my life.
I think those videos are so high production that it looks like a movie that it doesn't even.
The one I saw, I haven't seen the newer ones. When I was in Malaysia in 2005, somebody showed me a video on their cell phone. Yeah, I didn't even know.
The Russian soldier.
I didn't even know what it was. It was the one where the guy was like lying on the ground, and they put like this tiny little knife on his throat, and they held his head down on its side, and the guy was stepping on it.
That's the one. That was on everyone's cell phone
in like 2005, right?
Watch it.
Animal cruelty.
And I didn't even know what this video was, and as soon as it started happening, I thought it was fake at first, and then as soon as I realized it was real, I was just like, oh my! That imagery lived with me for so fucking long. And again, it's like, we talk about, oh, well, people are going to be desensitized. I think that, yes, some people, you can be kind of desensitized to certain things, but that doesn't mean you can desensitize people out of feeling stuff. You know what I mean? Like, when something's real, I think there is a distinct difference.
I agree completely. And I really do feel like, and I guess I'll kind of close it out with this, but I feel like I'm glad that a movie has finally come and been like, hey, we can do this. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, then we can do it. And it's like, maybe, like, now we can break the hinges down. I'm not saying, like, go fucking, like, Star Wars and start cutting people's heads off and blood fly everywhere. There's standards, man. It's
that would be cool, though.
You know,
dude. Oh man, you made me wish Star Wars had more.
But for years, Star Wars, like when they cut off a limb, the fucking like lightsaber actually solders the skin.
Someone down head first down the middle.
No, listen. And the lightsaber cauterizes the skin.
Yeah.
So you couldn't bleed because it's so fucking hot that the skin just melts to your body.
Yes.
So when people are stabbed in Star Wars and fall over, it's genius because it's already like molten hot fucking shit going through your skin. You're not gonna have any blood.
But they never like cut someone's head down the middle.
Yeah.
But that's a
stab someone through the face, and then you can do like an Evil Dead view of the camera, like through the hole in their head.
I would love that.
That's also what I'm saying. Movies like Avengers, Star Wars, these movies should be PG-13. Yes, you should get kids. But movies like Deadpool, Spawn, Punisher, these movies should be rated R. Zombie movies should be rated R. These movies should be fucking rated R. They should not be pussified. And that's what...
I'm curious.
And that's what I feel like.
Okay, so I want to take one step further and just ask... Do you think then, by that frame of thinking, that it's even possible to have a rated R cartoon? Is it even possible? Because...
Isn't South Park rated R?
Right, but we're talking... Right, so at this point, it's only rated R because of what? Opinions and bad words?
No, like some sex jokes. Like nudity.
Right, but what are we seeing? There's cartoon, it's cartoon gore, cartoon
you're saying
nudity.
The gore isn't real.
Right, so if it's so clearly not real,
but
because it's a cartoon or whatever,
heads, you know,
it still gives the same perception. In a cartoon, if you cut someone's arm off and red stuff sprays everywhere, they assume it's blood.
Right.
If you see an asshole, you'd be like, that's an asshole.
But even South Park, it's funny, but do you remember the episode where like it's like something stupid where they were making fun of the happening where something was coming and he's like, oh, and he kept like shooting himself in the head. And it's just like more parts of his face were being blown off and he was just like, he just kept killing himself. But he couldn't fucking die, so he just kept shooting himself and more pieces were flying off. That was legitimately fucked up. And there's a lot of parts where like, you know, characters are melting and there's like a skin are falling off. And even then it's like, it's fucking cool, but it's also like, wow, this is fucked up and weird. But it's realistic.
That's what's so interesting. Well, it's not realistic.
But they're emulating this is like a realistic thing you would see in a fucking if they did this in a Tarantino film.
Sure,
you blasted the side of someone's fucking mouth and like spitting blood.
But they're not showing.
You would see that.
They're not showing it to us.
No.
We are translating little block paper block characters. And they're fucking fake spraying blood.
But because of how they're doing it, they're making it so unbelievably uncanny. You're just like, I can't help but believe
at this point now, we're putting an R rating on the insinuation of things.
You guys are thinking of it so wrong. It's like, they're not putting a rating on it to protect you from getting sick. They're putting a rating on it for kids to be like, I don't want to know what a butthole is or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I'm thinking of it more for a general audience.
When you see a movie, I'm just, again, an example. When you see a movie like Punisher, where all of his comics invoke him torturing and killing people, that should be rated R.
That should be, absolutely.
If Punisher came out and they followed the PG-13 thing, it would be horrible. He would like stab someone and they'd just be like, ah! And he'd be like, did you learn your lesson?
I heard the story. What is it? Someone killed his wife and kids. And I heard the story and it was compelling, but I heard the movie was a mess, so I didn't want to watch it.
The comedy,
but I like the story.
The movie is almost a comedy in some points.
It's a comedy. It's
ridiculous.
I don't want to watch
he
that. I want to watch
this fucking sailor, like this Popeye guy.
It's retarded.
I like the story, but I don't like the idea of the movie being kind of shit. So I just want to wait for a good movie of that.
That's an example.
Which they will make. They'll make a good Punisher.
And that's my point. That's my point where it's like these movies should be rated R. Not everything should be fucking rated R. When you stab someone and cut their limbs off, it's like that should not be rated R. If it depends on the kind of movie. Like if you see something like Harry Potter, you're not. That's a family film.
Right.
If you see something like Star Wars and stuff, again, I keep going back to that. But if they shoot someone or something, that should not be rated R because that, to me, is a family movie. But something that was designed, has the backlog, has been built up under this adult audience, then you should not talk down to your adult audience, and you should give them the gratuitous violence that you have always given them.
So that is the statement. So all of those things, I think that's very reasonable. I think that's very reasonable. If you know that you're going to have a family audience, fine, makes perfect sense, make it a family movie. But if you're going to go with your source material that's clearly for adults, then don't try to fucking... I think the problem is a lot of producers are like, oh, wait, it's like there's this video game, there's this comic book, and adults, quote unquote, read these. But it's a comic, let's be honest. It's a comic. Kids, they read comics. Let's make the kid-friendly version, right? Because only kids really read comics.
I see what you mean about the cartoons.
It's people who...
Cartoons
right, that's exactly. So if we were going to go with the comics, then all of a sudden I'm thinking of the cartoons as well.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I understand your point as far as like it's not so much like for me. It's not a rating for me to judge.
Yeah.
It's mostly a warning for kids and shit.
Pretty much,
I get that.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
And Mick, I was wondering what that thing is on the table there.
Oh yeah, it's been sitting there, fucking.
I don't know
that nightmare.
Weird box with a weird.
All right, first of all, who sent you that?
Yeah. Shit. I had a note.
All right, so if anybody doesn't know, because you probably can't see what we're pointing at, because
I think I took a picture. Yeah,
but Mick got a giant fucking
Sleepy Cabin got it.
Yeah, Sleepy Cabin.
Yeah, it's for us.
Okay, Sleepy
It's for all
Cabin.
of us.
Well, you brought it in, so I thought it was yours.
Yeah.
But Sleepy Cabin got a fucking giant gummy bear. And let me just tell you something. It's not a phobia, but I'm repulsed by giant fruit and chocolate things. I think they're fucking disgusting.
Giant fruit?
And stupid, and I think it's the most fucking retarded
can I ask you a
thing
question?
ever. I think giant chocolate fucking Easter bunnies, when your parents are like, here, I got you this fucking thing you can't eat, and it'll just melt and become useless. Here's a 4 million pound sugary fucking
that
jelly.
thing is heavy. That thing is about 35 pounds.
This is from Daniel. I don't want to say his full name because maybe he doesn't want his whole name.
No, it's fine. Daniel, thank you.
He knows who he is.
Thank you for the disgusting sugary treat that I would not even attempt to eat all of because I would have a fucking...
Yeah, we're actually on the show. We're going to give it a shot. I mean, it was in the fridge for a while.
If you ate all that, you would have fucking like type 3 diabetes.
This is
within the afternoon.
I believe there's 51...
I just want a slice. I never thought I said I want a slice of a gummy bear, but I just
51, approximately 51 servings at 120 calories a pop.
I've been grown to understand the concept that chocolate and fruity things are within maybe your hand-sized range.
Holy shit.
It's like this one's weird. It's like 3 colors in one.
We should take a picture and put on. Do we have an Instagram?
I need a poll. I need
need
people on the podcast. I need a poll. I need people in the comment section. I need to know if this is not a bizarre thing, but I legitimately get fucking sickened and freaked out when I see giant gummy and chocolate things. It's just the idea of it freaks me out.
This is, you know what? If I see a big thing of chocolate, it doesn't weird me out only because... Like, look, you carve off a piece of chocolate like a cake or something like that. Now, a gummy bear freaks me out because I'm used to small ones. So when I see one you can kill somebody with it.
I'm talking about chocolate bunnies.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. If I was to describe this to someone, it would be like...
Let me hold it.
It would be like a Lego block in the size of a real brick.
Oh, yeah. It is the size of... It's bigger than a real brick.
It's bigger than a real brick.
I feel like you could really hurt somebody with that.
And it's as heavy as a real brick, probably.
If you shot that out of a cannon, you could take someone's... You could put a dent in someone's...
I can't eat this, man.
We're just gonna cut a slice off. What do you want? You want a slice of the green or the red?
The red. Cut off the tip of his nose.
Well, I love some of the green, actually.
I like green, too.
Yeah.
Here, we'll cut off his legs.
No, cut off his tip of his nose.
Do you want that?
You want
his nose?
What is
it? I thought you didn't want any.
Give me a mini Jello size fucking gummy bear.
Oh, wow. Look at his face. He's got a little smile, too.
He's happy. Not
whatever. That's good. That's good enough.
I dare you to take
There's so much fucking sugar in here. I feel like you could run a tank on it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, it would just
Mick
run.
is cutting it like a steak.
If you fucking ate this,
Mick,
you
I
would
dare you
die.
to take a bite out of it. An actual bite.
I can't,
dude. I have bad Chinese teeth.
I double dog dare you.
I would take a bite out of this and all of my teeth would be left inside of it.
Mick, I can't even like eat this piece. I have to like rip it.
No,
it's a smaller gummy bear.
This is thicker than a ribeye steak.
Oh wait, it has a belly button? I never knew they had belly buttons.
That makes it too real. I feel bad eating this thing now.
Just the idea of the novelty of giant fruity chocolate things is fucking bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's no problem.
I wonder how many slices before I die.
It tastes kind of rubbery though.
Yeah.
Like more rubbery than it normally is.
Are you supposed to use a knife?
Isn't there rubber in it?
Gelatin.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I swore like some of the things had like fucking rubber or plastic.
I thought it was
in
whale.
It's like, drug
Isn't
dealers
gum?
cut things with fucking flour.
Isn't gum like whale blubber?
Gum?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's literally
lipstick.
cow feet.
I thought was whale blubber.
I'm not exaggerating. I think it's cow feet because they have gelatin in it.
I thought this was going to be really disgusting and
sugary
and shitty, but
it's pretty
it's not
I'm
as
really
sugary.
starting to
Give me an ear.
It smells like a fucking fruit candle. That's just the abundance of this fruit, dude.
You look like you just had a baby and you hated it. You're like holding it in your arms.
Yeah, like get rid of it, man.
If I was describing, it's about 25 pounds.
It looks like a baby. It's the size of a baby.
Who sent this? Daniel?
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel, for the giant
Here, I'm
gummy
gonna
bear.
keep
The
an ear.
giant novelty
I'm
bear.
gonna keep an ear just
But-
for the show.
Do you ever get the Guinness Book of Records as a kid?
I
Yeah.
love the Guinness Book of
You ever
Records.
see those adorable old men with the big old pumpkins?
Did you ever try to
You
do
hate
stuff
those?
for the Guinness Book of
Did I
Records?
ever try to beat like the Guinness Book?
Yeah, do you ever see something and be like, oh, I can do that?
Biggest fucking fingernails. I'm like, anyone could do that.
You see the pictures of that?
Biggest fingernail.
They're fucking
You're gonna
weirdo.
beat
Anyone
that.
can do that.
You're gonna beat that old sandy bitch. You're
That
gonna fucking beat her.
Yeah, I could if
She's
I.
got a 200-foot fingernail. You
All
gotta
I have
beat
to do
that.
is wait. I just wait. That's it.
I actually think it's like a 19.
Dude, that would ruin. You could never be on the internet.
She's the
There
light
used to be
winner.
this show. I don't remember what it's called. I would actually like the people in the stream or the people in the podcast or the community to legitimately tell me the show.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No, it wasn't that. That is another show, but it was a bunch
Don't
of
cut the
guys.
cow.
I was just thinking about
It was a bunch of guys who kind of in the same vein as Jackass. They rode around to different cities trying to beat world records.
That's a fun show.
It was a show on MTV, and I fucking loved it. And I don't know if anybody knows it, but the first one I watched, the first episode was like this banana eating competition.
Oh my God.
Where you eat bananas.
It sounds like a fucking disgusting.
And they failed it, but
Yeah.
but like then they do a bunch of crazy stuff like stunts. Like they have so much money to just spend and do stuff. I really don't know what it's called, but I've been needing to see it again. But they do stuff where
Kenny versus Spenny.
no, it's not like that. But that is another good show. But it's like
I like that show.
they put a bunch of like there's one where the person who put on the most shirts in like a mall who just put on shirts and they went around putting on shirts and they put on like 50 shirts and they were just like
the
these
Guinness Book of
fucking
Records has gone to
fat.
shit though. You know, it's like guy who runs backwards the fastest, or guy who runs with an egg on his head.
Yeah, but the idea of somebody being like a group of like 6 guys who go around the world looking for records and then fucking beating them or failing them, and whoever fails them, it's like they're already like embarrassed from like trying to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like someone who tries to eat the biggest burger, they like fucking puke and they're like, okay,
You know,
next
the guy who pulls a train with his fucking ears.
See, they're gonna do practical
I've seen
stuff
the guy who
like.
pulled it with his dick.
Or with
They're
his
gonna
dick.
they're gonna
Or
do
something.
stuff like they're
That's a
gonna
real
eat
video.
stuff. They're
Yeah.
gonna walk on their hands for a certain amount of time. But it was a really good show, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was fucking fantastic. Because I've always been obsessed with like world records. Because I'm a fan of like speed runs. I love speed runs. I love world records.
Yeah,
speed run paces.
I like
but
world records.
like I love the idea of people
beating everyone else in the world.
competing to do this one crazy thing that you could not imagine. Like
Cory.
people who walk on their hand for like 82 hours.
Let me ask
It's
you.
unbelievable to me.
Speed run. Do you
Yes.
count hack runs?
No.
What's hack run?
Those are tool assisted. Those are using the computer.
But why would
A
that
tool
count as
assisted.
anything ever?
You know the
Because people
inputs-
say they've beaten Dark Souls in 15 minutes because they like jump through a wall and then fly through some shit and beat
no,
boss boss.
Do you know the
that's not-
inputs of
no.
a controller, like the actual human like connection where you can make the control of pressing forward and going right? A computer can calculate that faster than you can and your
yeah.
thing. So there's this thing, it's called like a tool assisted program, which goes frame by frame, and you can make the perfect run by finding the exact inputs. And people have been able to beat Mega Man in like 8 minutes.
Yeah, because they
And
know exactly-
they've been actually been able to
It's an
like
algorithm. They know
Yeah,
exactly
they've been
the-
able to fuck with the code enough to just beat it and not even fight anything, just like glitch the game up, and suddenly they've won.
I can't really get behind that as world records, but I can get behind the ones that
No,
learn.
that's
you know
not-
the ones that
that's not a
learn.
world record.
I love the ones that learn. You know, like it's like an AI that like they play Mario for the first time, they run right into the first Goomba, and it's like they're dead. But then they learn to like jump, and then they keep learning, and they keep going. I find that fascinating.
That's fascinating. I think we talked about that like a few episodes ago. But the world record thing, like when people do speed runs, like legitimately
was
play
thinking they're like-
as person.
Do you have a dream of being a Binding of Isaac speedrunner?
Fuck no.
Could you do it, Cory?
Fuck no.
I'd love to be an Abe's
I'd rather fucking
Really?
walk.
Yeah, I love that game so much.
Walk
Oh fuck, I stabbed
bare
myself
feet.
pretty badly. But
You look like you do not know how to use a knife.
yeah, that was,
God damn it.
That one was pretty bad. I think.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes, he cut himself and
no.
bled all over the gummy
Wait,
bear.
oh, no, there's no blood yet. It's coming though.
Make read off some questions. That'll be a good way to end it off.
Questions.
All right, guys. We've talked
What
movies.
did-
We've talked gummy bears.
and
We've talked pussy, mucus. We've got some questions from our patrons we'd like to hit up. That's gonna be fun time. Bing, ba, bing, bong, bing.
Patreon questions.
All right, boys and girls. We got a question from Connor Gerard here. A question for all members. Has somebody ever done something so irritating or offensive to you that you have completely stopped communicating with that person or vice versa?
Someone just kept calling me and I just hated it. It wouldn't stop calling me on my phone like 40 times a day.
Something offensive?
It
No.
was annoying. That was the only time I stopped talking to someone was was when they just did that. I was like, ooh.
There's really not something that offensive people can do. I think it's not so much that it's offensive, but I get kind of tired of like, I give somebody attention that I enjoy, then they just shower me with attention and the kind of attention I don't want, and I'm just like, okay, well, this kind of sucks because I kind of gave you the benefit of the doubt, and I realize now that I kind of just opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
I guess, if that's an example.
Yeah. I had a college friend.
I'm not going to lay names down, though.
I had a college friend. Yeah, we'll try not to name people. I had a college friend, and recently I connected with them on Twitter, and we started talking more, and it was great. It was great to catch up and see how this person was doing. But the way their life went since college was very different from the way my life went. And they're very, I don't want to call it social justice, but that's kind of like really demeaning, only in that it's like throwing off what they are. Like, oh, you're just a social justice warrior. Yeah, they feel very strongly about certain issues. Sex-based issues, like gender-based issues, and they said a few things, and they took a few of the things I said out of context, and we would explain it, right? So over Twitter, it'd be like I say something, they get offended, I explain it, we're all good.
You on Twitter?
We did, but now we're all good. But then all the other people who are coming late to the conversation all just start trashing this person and going as far as they can out of their way to just fucking make a point. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And eventually this person was just like, these are the people you know what I mean? Like, these are the people that, surround you or whatever. I don't want to be a part of this. So they basically, these are the type of people that if they see an opposing opinion, like political opinion on Facebook, they'll like defriend you. Yeah. I mean, they're not really friends. You know what I mean?
Those people, it's like, let them defriend you, because then you get more.
That's probably a good sign when they're that petty with that kind of stuff.
And then as far as me stopping communication, I don't need to name names, but I had this one friend that I married for 7 years, and then they fucked my neighbor for 2 years. So I stopped talking to them.
You're mansplaining right now.
Yeah, there's divorce kids out there who have to experience this.
What are they? Their existence is their divorce.
Their existence is to be divorced, and they can't deal with this kind of realism.
Like before social warrior or social justice warriors existed, there was one in my high school class, and like, she was like that huge feminist figure, that like she tried to organize everything, and oh god. And anyway, I found her on Twitter recently. Yeah. So I followed her just to see that she hated me, by the way, because I had the complete opposite opinions of her, and just to kind of rub it in, I followed her so she'd be like, "Nah, I followed you," and I'd have more. I don't know. That was the one petty thing I've ever done.
Oh my god!
Wow, you're a little bitch.
Just to be like,
you're using your follow count.
You are a little bitch.
People.
It felt so good.
No, look at me. Hey, you know what? This goes great with the next question. Jose Zarate asks, if you could change the sex of one of the SleepyCast members, who would it be, and what would you have sex with them? I changed Niall, and I have sex with him.
So that's why it goes into the next question.
Well, I called you a little bitch.
Okay. So. I say next question.
I wonder. Okay, like in reality, I'd wonder what Zach would look like as a girl.
He would have perky milk tits.
Yeah, I think he'd have like huge tits.
What?
You think he would have huge tits?
Why?
I think he'd have a big girl butt.
You think he'd have a big girl butt that you could fuck?
All of it. This is a totally different person.
Do you think you could take girl Zach from behind?
Oh yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, my real answer would be. My real answer would probably
yourself, and you fuck yourself.
Maybe, because like I feel less weird about that.
You could turn your hand.
For some reason,
you could like doll up your hand.
I just wanted to incorporate Zach into this podcast, by the way, because people are asking where the fuck is Zach, and
people are asking.
He's still part of Sleepy Cabin, by the way.
Yeah.
It's cold. We can't get to New York.
Oh yeah, it's very simple. We could explain it the best we could, but it's pretty simple. It's 16 below outside, and Zach lives in fucking New York.
And it's for work.
There you go.
It's very, very.
The only
simple.
way we can do a podcast is if we do it in person.
We're not hiding anything. We're not doing like Zach is in Sleepy Cabin,
guys,
living in New York right now. Hard to get to.
Yes, the fans want to know where he is. We all want him on the podcast.
I would love.
We're still talking to him on Skype. He knows. We just got to get up to get to him. Look.
Yeah,
if anyone wants to fucking complain about like how we haven't gotten him on, guess what? He could have fucking come down here any day of the motherfucking week, and we could have recorded with him too.
And he will come down.
Yeah, and he'll come down probably the exact same reason we haven't gotten up. Exactly. It's fucking cold. We're fucking busy.
It is actually like searing, face melting pain. Yeah. Next question.
All right. So here's one. Chris Moore asks, do you guys have any good stories from social high school events, especially prom or other dances? What are your thoughts on them?
Oh, I can tell you my prom experience.
Yeah.
I went with a girl who was obsessed with me, but I didn't like her remotely.
I like it all.
I liked her as a friend, and we went to prom, and she was like really excited about prom. I was just going because I wanted to be nice. Yeah. And the whole night, she was like grinding on my dick and doing like.
Oh really?
She was doing.
Oh wow!
She was doing suggestive stuff. But the problem is, it's like the equivalence of like a girl. It's like equivalence of a fucking like obese like whale of a woman that you aren't interested in. Yeah, no, I'm speaking in a sense where it's like someone who doesn't take care of herself. Ooh. She's gross and she thinks highly about herself, but you don't like her at all.
You sound like Donald Trump right now. She's gross. She's disgusting, and
Okay, fine. Let me reword that. It's the equivalence of a fucking disgusting homeless man, old guy coming up to you, rubbing his fucking dirty dick all over your leg, being like, doing that to you. Okay, if you don't like the fat whale stinky part, then how about the dirty homeless man? Everybody can fucking relate to the dirty homeless man in New York. So that was the equivalence. She was rubbing her fucking dirty homeless dick all over me the whole night, and I was just pissed.
Was she like slim and attractive?
She was okay, but the problem, but the thing, I didn't like her. If you don't like somebody,
Cory, you're a guy.
I know.
And if it's a girl, obviously it doesn't matter what they look like.
No, see,
it's obviously you
true.
Want to have sex all the time.
It's true.
You want to rape her.
Believe it or not.
All the time.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Sometimes guys have tastes and things that walk and move. I don't always want to fuck everything.
In the Guinness Book of World Records, men are the #1 rapists. Okay?
It's true.
It's true. 100% of men rape.
Are you saying you were uncomfortable by a woman being herself? Maybe that's because you're misogynistic.
I'll be honest. Honestly, it was like being sexually harassed and there's nothing you can do.
Women can't sexually harass men because they don't have the power.
But it was basically like by the end of the night, I told her, and what pissed me off was I told her at the beginning, I'm like, hey, we can dance. We can do this stuff, but I'm not doing any dirty dancing to the fucking move it to the right. 6 steps this time. We're not dancing to that. We're not fucking dancing to that song. I'm like, if you start, I told her, I'm like, if you start fucking air ass grinding against me, I'm gonna have a few words to say afterwards. She's like, okay. And then, first of all, the punk was the fucking
sign the contract.
The punch wasn't spiked, so there's no reason why she was like dancing like she was fucking wasted.
Yeah.
She was all over me. And by the end of the night, I told her, I'm like, we're friends, we're in a band, but I have no interest in you. Okay, it's like I like that you play band, but you like math and other boring shit, and I don't care. And that's what fucked up.
You like math? Get your ass out of my face.
This is basically what it, she like. Okay. She was a mathematician, and she'd tell me math problems, and I'd be like, and
listen, Einstein, I'm not down for these fucking sneaky hobo dance.
She was into everything I wasn't into. Basically, the only thing we connected on was band stuff. I know it sounds fucked up to be this direct and blunt.
That's weird, Cory.
It really got to the point where we were laying in the car, and she kept trying to suck my dick in the car.
Why were you laying in the car with somebody? They're gonna want to do something if you're laying in the car with them.
I was in a car. I wasn't laying. I was kind of
your legs kind of spread and you.
No, I was just like waiting to get home. You know, I had my hand on my face. I was like, this is fucking night. And then she was still trying to come at it. And what's funny is after I told her off, because I told her off after that, the next time she was a complete cunt to me at band practice. Yeah. She was mean. She was fucking being passive aggressive, and it was just like, what are you fucking 8? It's like, can you not realize that I have no interest in you? Yeah. Could you not tell that I don't like advances? It's like, but that was my prom experience. I spent $150 on a fucking tux and got basically molested by a girl I didn't really like.
I was talking to some people about prom not so long ago in a chat. It's interesting how much pressure people put on like prom, like even Hollywood, right? So like every Hollywood movie about high school, it's always about prom. And even the kids who are like too cool for prom end up going to prom somehow. And I remember going as well, but...
Wait, you're kind of suggesting you were one of the too cool for prom?
Well, I definitely didn't see the big deal. Like, I didn't care as much, you know, because there was so much pressure. But in retrospect, like, I never think of the prom day. Like, that memory... I have so many memories of friends. So many memories of going out to restaurants or walking on train tracks or being in the woods or doing stupid shit or even playing a game with people on the stream or playing a board game when I was a kid. I don't know, just stupid shit, right? Fights you got in. But this prom thing that was so built up is one of the least memorable experiences of my fucking life. Like, I never caught myself sitting there just ruminating.
Yeah.
More, I mean, besides like right now or like when it comes up.
Yeah,
but, like,
some people.
I was so bad with
Some people
girls
meet
and
their like true love at proms, and it's like a fucking matchbook heaven
Right.
thing. But it's like it's different for everybody. Not
It's true.
everybody's gonna
Some
have the
people
same-
are going to have really memorable times. But you ever watch those movies, right, about prom? There's a prom king or queen. There's a couple of losers that end up not being losers, like they're actually cool or whatever, and they're friends now or they're dancing. And then there's like 300 other extras that are on the dance floor that you never hear about or see, right? That to me is 99.999% of people. They were just people at a dance who happened to fucking be on the dance floor, and that was it. They didn't get a main storyline. They didn't get a side storyline.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And they went home, and like you could have had a more memorable experience.
I have a pretty good
sitting right here and watching Cory, play a fucking video game.
I have a pretty good prom story, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
In Ireland, it's not called a prom, it's called the Debs. And before the Debs, there's another one, it's called the Grads. And in the Grads, I didn't really know many girls back then. I was just bad with them. And so someone hooked me up with their friend for that. And then that person threw me under the bus and started making fun of me in front of the girl. And then the girl started making fun of me. I just got, like, bullied by my Debs, or by my Grads date. But anyway, that's aside from the point. I didn't really care. I let him do his thing. But that summer, I went to Greece. And I was talking to this guy who recently broke up with his girlfriend. Call him Jack, because his name was Jack. Sure. And we both got really drunk.
Call him Jack because his name's Jack.
And we got really drunk.
That's how names work.
He was telling me how much he loved this girl and all that. And he was telling me he was pouring his heart. I kept buying him Sex on the Beaches, those drinks.
Yes.
And we just got fucking hammered. And he was just telling me how much he loved her. He started kind of like tearing up at the end. And then like a couple of weeks later was my prom, and I didn't really know many girls. And the person who someone hooked me up with ended up being his ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
And then he was going with some other girl. And
So he saw you with her.
yeah, but instead of doing the dirt, I started kind of playing him up to her that whole night. And then she was like, yeah. And then I think like they hooked up by the end of the night.
By the end of it?
Yeah, so I
Little
didn't
matchmaker.
I didn't really get anyone that night, but I was
But you were the
happy-
good guy. Good guy now.
I was happy to see those two kind of rekindle. I don't know how they're doing right now. They could be together, or could not be, but
That's
that
still a
was good.
storyline.
It was good.
I mean,
It
your
was good.
storyline ends with like a pan of
I hooked
you
up with
looking
some
at the
other
moon,
fucking-
and then it
He's just
pans
like,
up
I did
to
good
the moon.
today, and then you
Yeah.
fucking
No, I hooked up
you
with some
jerk
other
off
slapper,
fiercely in the
like-
bathroom because you had like the
I was like, ah! They fucking cooked.
There was a dance that it wasn't prom, but there was a dance when I first moved back from Japan to Seattle, and it was in a town south. I think it was in like Renton. I can't remember. Anyways, there was a girl I met through a friend, and so I went down to this dance. We were sitting on the couch and we were drinking aftershock. Do you know what aftershock is? It's like a cinnamon type drink, and it has like these crystals at the bottom,
There's
sugar
different
crystals.
flavors of the blue
Yeah.
one, the
So
red
I got
one.
really, really drunk. The girls were getting ready. The guys are hanging out. I've never met any of these people. I only knew the girl, just
Yeah.
kind of. And it was like a dance where the girls asked the guys out or something like that. And so we're sitting there, and a guy comes in, not dressed for a dance at all, comes up the stairs. We're all on the couch. He's like, get up. We get up. He fucking moves the cushions, and he pulls a fucking gun out from the fucking couch.
What?
Fucking takes out the clip, looks at it, puts it back in, puts it behind like his pants, and then leaves. I was like, oh, this is a great part of town. Can't wait to go to this party.
That's where I am now.
So before we even got to the dance, I had pretty much drank a lot of the. I mean, you guys know me. When I drink a lot,
Yeah,
and I drink very, very fast. And especially in this scenario, I think I was just uncomfortable because I didn't know any of these people.
Yeah.
So I probably felt like I needed to compensate by drinking as much as I possibly could. Anyways, I was so fucking plowed, I blacked out before we even got to the dance. We get to the dance. It's in like the gym part of the school. And all I remember is as soon as we got in, not like 2 minutes later, I needed to go to the bathroom. And then I just remember staring into a toilet and puking a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I remember some angry people pulling me up and dragging me out. I guess in retrospect, I think it was a couple of teachers, but I guess I was loud enough puking in the bathroom because the bathroom was part of the gym. Like it was like right off the side of the gym. So there's this dance going on, and then there's this guy just puking, and me not being a part of that school, I guess, was an even bigger problem.
Yeah.
So these teachers just didn't want me to be there. So they just grabbed me. I just remember being picked up. I remember being outside, sitting on the steps, blacking out again, and then I was in a bed in this house.
Stranger's bed?
Yeah, in this house that I did not even know. And when I woke up, she was gone. She had left. So I don't know if she came back with me or not, but she was gone. My date, and I didn't know anyone at this house. And I got up. There's like a couple people sleeping on the couch, whatever. And I just kind of crept out of the house. I walk out. It's like fucking like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. It was in the summer, so you could still kind of see the light. And it was just such a creepy thing. Like I survived a fucking car crash or something. I just felt like stranded on another planet. Because it was like, I'm like hungover, I have no idea where I am. I didn't have a cell phone back then,
Yeah.
And I'm in the neighborhood, I have no idea where it is. There's no Uber, there's no...
It's like the Twilight Zone.
No, I ended up being able to find, because when we first moved there, we were staying in like an extended stay hotel type place. So I was able to eventually call that place and they have my mom come pick me up. But
Your mom.
well, this is high school,
I know.
But still, I didn't have a car at the time, because we had just moved back.
Imagine the time I woke up in a tent, in a girl's tent, with just girls' clothes on.
You had girls' clothes on?
Well, just the mud boot, or what do you call them? I call them wellies because I'm from Ireland, but the boots to get rid of like mud?
Yeah.
Just girls' ones with those on. That was all I was
Niall,
wearing.
you woke up with Uggs?
Pretty much, I was wearing nothing else.
You're just hairy Niall.
Fucking high.
And people were saying they watched me wandering naked around the campsite.
Yeah, I've got a few wandering
at
around naked stories.
Yeah, it was a music festival.
What the fuck, dude?
I was on drugs. It was years ago.
Do you want to read one more question?
I was a bold boy.
All right, guys, we got our last question. We got our last question here by Earwig. Earwig asks, Kellogg's, the creators of Kellogg's cornflakes and other famous popular cereals,
Frosties.
has hired each of you to come up with a new cereal. However, the member who comes up with the worst cereal gets his balls chopped off. So what are your ideas? Obviously, we don't give a fuck about the last one because mine got chopped off long ago. But as far as the
my one
flavors,
is mixed ballos. So there's mixed balls in a bowl.
That's your balls fucking getting snipped off by big
it's
scissors.
dude, that's just a bowl of milk, man. There's nothing in there,
Milk
man.
and sperm, boys.
I want to be practical, all right? Mine's going to be popping zebras or something like that.
Popping zebras?
Zebra poppers or something like that.
Okay.
And it'll be basically like puppy chow kind of stuff with like chocolate and peanut butter with
Okay.
like white. And it'll make like since it's like Rice Krispies, it'll make like the popping sound.
Yeah.
But it'll be like the white and black.
Yeah.
So it'll be like zebra cereal that pops.
Nice.
That's
And
cool.
I'll call it zebra poppers.
I actually like
zebra
that.
poppers.
It's cool.
If you had a cereal, like it tasted like donuts, right? But the idea was that you'd have to pour coffee and milk into it. So it'd be like a coffee milk donut cereal. I think that would be good.
Why don't you just eat coffee and donuts?
Well, no, that's the point. It's like, I guess that's, why wouldn't you just
I mean,
do
like
that?
donuts
Yeah.
is getting like little miniature donuts would be kind of creepy to like eat it with like fucking
Well, they do
coffee,
Cookie
you know?
Crisp. That's how.
Yeah,
That's what I
Cookie
felt
Crisp.
about Cookie Crisp. It's creepy as fuck.
It's not though, because it's not cookies. It's just like
it wasn't cookies.
It's like corn, fucking like breaded stuff with chocolate chips inside of it. It's
What
like
would
the
be an
most
actual
basic
good
cookie.
flavor?
I said Chex
what
with
are those-
chocolate and peanut butter.
What are those cookies that you get from Girl Scouts? It was like, it tasted kind of minty, but it was also chocolatey.
York?
No, it kind of like that, but they were like,
Peppermint patties?
yeah, something like, it was kind of like that, but the fucking people know what the fuck I'm talking about. That is a cereal. Done.
Peppermint patty cereal?
You Americans have the best cereals, I have to say. Like, way better than
Yeah, we have the worst
You know
fruity
what?
cereals.
Oh, but they're
I
way
could do
they're
an
worse.
Almond Joy.
They're worse
I could
for
do
you.
like a Mounds or an Almond Joy fucking cereal.
Captain Crunch Cinnamon Toast Crunch is one of the nice things I've ever eaten.
Cinnamon
I love
Toast
Cinnamon
Crunch
Toast
is
Crunch.
good.
It's so fucking good.
I used to hate Golden Grams growing up, but I kind of came around to it.
It's so weird though when they
I didn't
say
like
like
the
come
weird-
up with a flavor. Like if I were to tell you, yeah, Captain Crunch, what is that flavor?
It's
What's
like,
that?
Oh, it's like
I
corn,
couldn't tell you, but I have a
cornstarch
vague
and
flavor
sugar.
of Captain
yeah,
Crunch.
sugar starch.
Cornstarch sugar
Yeah.
with glass shards.
They're called
Yeah, basically. And I love Captain Crunch, but I don't know what it fucking tastes like.
For our European listeners, Captain Crunch is basically golden nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
They're honey crunch and good.
Not necessarily, because you can also get Captain Crunch berries. Like you get like blue and green berries. They used
Yeah.
to have that back in
Well,
the
this
day.
thing's called
That I understand though. The berries I get, but the crunch, the Captain Crunch.
I love Trix. Trix is a really good cereal.
Trix is
It doesn't have much
I've never
sugar
been
in
my
it,
favorite.
but it's pretty good. Fruit Loops.
Lucky Charms. I loved my.
Look,
I
like
love
that.
Why don't they make more? Why don't they
But
put more
Fruit Loops-
marshmallows in the Lucky Charms?
course.
That's everyone's favorite
Of
thing. Why don't
course.
they just make it all marshmallows?
I used to eat.
Seriously, no one
Because
cares.
the back of the box would read a very different tale.
That's true.
No parent would ever fucking
Yeah.
buy it because it would just say
I'd
like
buy it, though.
fucking approximate servings, 12 calories, diabetes.
Do you remember that Honeycombs commercial with like that weird like furry animal with
Yeah,
sneakers?
honeycomb.
Yeah. The box of cereals were like fucking like 14 feet tall, and they like the actual cereal
Yeah.
was fucking huge.
They were like fucking like frisbees.
Yeah, they were massive. There were these huge fucking cereal things that if you had a small bowl, you'd have like 8 of them inside your bowl, and you pour the milk in, and they'd all fall out.
You know what?
because
That's
they
better
weighed
than
nothing.
the fucking like what was it? Wheat, shredded wheat. but it was like
They're good.
It looked like a bundle of socks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You
Yeah.
got like one of them, and you put it in with like.
Yeah, they were fucking double. They were
get the mini
double.
ones, or you could get the big fucking ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I always loved the mini. The sugar frosted
Those
mini
are actually
wheats
good.
are amazing.
Those are
The
good.
fucking huge mini
The
wheats.
big ones I never understood. You gotta let it soak for a half hour before you could even fucking eat
and if
it.
it soaks for like 2 seconds, the fucking wheat already
Oh, yeah.
melts in the body and the sugar's all gone.
Dude,
but in the
and by
mini
the time,
ones, it
by the
stays
time
on.
you do try to eat it, like if it gets too soggy, it is like eating
Yeah.
a wet sock. It is just like this big, thick, clumpy mass.
You know what?
Weetabix. Weetabix is this.
I've heard of this Weetabix. What the fuck is this?
It's like Irish and English. It's called Weetabix. It's like it's just kind of a brick of wheat, but when you put sugar on it, for some reason, it's the nicest thing ever. I saw it in Giant. Like you can buy it in the health food sections in America now. It's so
Yeah.
fucking good. Buy Weetabix.
I love Life and Kix. Those are like my two favorite cereal. Kix is
Life. I never got any kicks. I liked Life.
I love
Life,
Alpen.
Life is really good. Cinnamon Life. I used to eat normal Life, but the cinnamon actually has a little
Yeah.
bit of a kick to it, so you don't have to have as much milk.
Yeah.
But
You guys have Alpen here.
I don't
What?
know. I don't know what that is.
Alpen?
No, I haven't ever heard
There
of
was
it.
one that actually, I swear to God, like it feels like I was smelling liquor. It was Fruity Pebbles. When Fruity
Okay.
Pebbles is left out
Okay, yeah.
with like the milk and stuff, you
Yeah.
have this like weird aftertaste smell where when you get older, you start thinking like,
you know what's weird
this
about that?
smells like liquor.
Actually, you know what's weird about that? There's so many beers that I taste, and the aftertaste, I'm like, this kind of tastes like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
Is there something weird? Yeah, there's something weird.
I don't know,
about
man.
that.
Fruity Pebbles are good, but
It probably
they
just
get
has a familiar taste signature that like some things have.
maybe.
that you
your
don't
milk
do.
turns fucking purple.
Yeah, it
You're
does.
actually
'Cause
right about that
it
because
completely drenches.
mine is the
your milk.
You know what else
Right?
turns purple? Your poops.
Yeah.
It does,
Totally
actually.
Oh my
fucking
God.
colors your
It does.
poops.
It
Mine
colors
used to
your
turn
poop.
green. I used to live.
Yeah.
I lived in my ex-girlfriend's house, and like I got so worried because they were green, and I found out it's because I was eating Fruity Pebbles.
Your pebbles are good.
Yeah.
I don't like Cocoa
And I asked
Puffs.
my girlfriend at
Yeah,
the time. I was like,
never liked Cocoa Puffs.
I've never been a fan of Cocoa Puffs. I'd be
Yeah.
like, ooh, Cocoa Puff with the chocolate cereal.
Yeah.
I don't like just chocolate cereal. I like Reese's Puffs.
We had
It's like
ones
peanut
called-
butter and chocolate's good, but I don't like just straight chocolate
we
cereal.
had ones called Cocoa Pops, and it was this. Their logo mascot guy was like a monkey with a baseball hat on.
Wow, way to rip off Cocoa Puffs.
Their song was
Wait,
"We'd
can
rather
we-
have a bowl
Can
of
we pause
Cocoa
this?
Pops."
If any of you guys live in Australia or Europe or anything, put in your favorite cereal and like actual images of it, because I'm actually curious what other cereal people like. Because we have Fruit Loops and
Yeah.
Trix and shit, but I'd like to see what other people eat.
Yeah.
Then they had caramel flavors, and their song was "We'd rather have a bowl of caramel flavored Cocoa Pop." It was
Cocoa
it was
Puffs.
weird. It was just all condensed.
Wow, way to rip off the crazy zany orange bird.
Now in my old age, my favorite cereal to eat is
What are you,
like
30?
granola.
Yeah, mine's granola and
Yeah.
Raisin Bran.
yes, yes.
The older I get, I'm like, Mom, where's the Captain Crunch and the Cinnamon Toast
Dude,
Crunch?
if I eat a bowl of any of that shit, it gives me a headache. This
Me
gummy
too.
bear, I'm gonna fucking feel it tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm gonna get a
absolutely.
sugar hangover tomorrow from
But
this.
then I eat something like it might as well just, it's like fucking oats.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
it's just like fucking
Give me
nuts
some
and berries.
raw oats, like
It's delicious.
still connected to the fucking grain shoot.
Granola is fucking pushing it.
Put on some like really tart homemade home-churned Greek yogurt.
I have granola.
No sugar.
I have granola, and that's pushing it sometimes.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, holy fuck, this is way too sugary for me.
Actually, something that is really tasty if you're into something mildly fucking granola-y is you get some granola with like walnuts and like other like coconut flakes and stuff. Throw that in. Oh, shut up! Throw that in.
It's so
to
daddish,
some-
but
I know, dude.
I know what you're talking about.
God, throw that into some like plain yogurt, and then if you want if you want it to be sweet, you can throw some honey on top of that whole thing.
Honey
like
in
fresh,
yogurt?
fresh honey
Whoa.
on top of that whole thing, and you've got yourself a delicious treat. After that, read the newspaper, smoke your pipe, and then ride a bike with a really big wheel to work, and be a big
Slap
boy.
your wife.
Yeah, go home, slap your wife.
I actually do love putting
Eventually, go to the
granola in
basement
yogurt.
and put 2 barrels in your mouth and end it all.
Putting granola in
can't
yogurt's really good. I did it at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting into the whole granola and yogurt thing. I wasn't a fan of Raisin Bran when I was a kid. I hated it.
Yeah.
This is something that also always confused me. Have you ever had like Frankenberry or like Blueberry?
Okay, I know I have at some point. It was Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Booberry. What was the mummy?
I have had Blueberry.
What was the mummy one though? I never remember that
Yummy
flavor.
Mummy.
Yummy Mummy?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I swear to God.
But what was it? Was it like vanilla?
It was like
didn't have any
Fruit
of
Loops.
this
It was
shit.
Fruit Loop flavored. It was just fruit.
But it was white.
We had sugar.
It
Puffs.
was like, you know, like
Corn
fruit
flakes.
condensed corn syrup with
Frosted.
fucking like stuff.
Yeah, these characters are quintessential to us because they were also cartoon characters, and they
Yeah.
used to have like little.
I saw
mini
Count Chocula in The
cartoons.
Simpsons.
Blueberry's really good. Having blueberry cereal is a brilliant idea, but I can't eat like fucking straight chocolate and strawberry cereal. I couldn't even imagine eating that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say just eat blueberry like the freak who just only eats blueberry, but I would eat blueberry.
I feel like if it's so distinctly strawberry, I couldn't have that cereal every day. Like after a week, I'd be like, God damn, the last thing I want in my mouth is just fucking this strawberry cereal.
Yeah, it's strawberry like Kellogg's, like fruit coloring, and it's just like destroying your teeth from the inside out.
Because I mean, when you get older, you don't eat the same dinner every day. I mean, most of the time you want to try to change it. You try to change it.
No, yeah.
Even if it's pizza, you're gonna have a different kind of pizza.
Don't even say pizza. I totally want pizza right now.
Papa John's open till 11. It's 9:53.
You want to get food?
Yeah,
you want to get food?
Yeah, let's end
All right.
This has been SleepyCast. Goodbye.